Hello.
Hello. Do you know what? I realise I do that all the time. Hello. Welcome back to the HNU, or just welcome to the HNU podcast with your hosts, Himalay.
And Urvashi.
Yes, if you can, please like and subscribe and
Share.
yes.
If you like it.
Only if you like it. Enjoy the episode.
Disclaimer, I sound like shit. Because I'm losing my voice.
Because I'm
Fuck you.
You've got a cold. What a crybaby.
I keep getting colds, but it's fine.
Everyone's been battling it, to be fair.
It's the weather.
By the way, as well, I'm dressing like this today because I'm going to a party.
And I'm dressing like this today because I'm going absolutely fucking nowhere. Except for dropping him off. That's it.
It's going to be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. What's the scariest thing about being an adult and getting older?
You have to be... It seems like you have to be on it all the time. And I know that a lot of people don't have their shit together. I feel like that's just part of the human race. Like, no one really, if you think about it, has their shit together. But
Right.
It seems like being an adult, you kind of have to try and get things together. Like, you have to, like, always be, like, on the roll. You always have to know, like, you know. Yeah, it's very scary. It is.
Well, because I've got more of an experience. No, I think I don't see life growing up, getting older as scary. I don't see it as it being scary because I'm at this stage right now in my life.
Yeah.
So let me focus on this stage rather than thinking about the scary things that are going to come eventually. I mean, it's inevitable for us to go through hardships.
Yeah.
But they're there to teach us lessons, I think. So I don't see it as being scary. But at the same time, I do see those times, because I do feel it as well when there's too much pressure. But the funny thing is, you put the pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
Usually. Like, you think that loads of people are talking about it, it's only just yourself. It's just repeating those things.
Yeah, it may be one person that said it's once and it's like stuck in your head.
Or not even that, you've just made it up.
Mm.
Like, you just come out of nowhere. So, you got to kind of, I don't know. I think it's just everything. Everyone experiences it and you deal with it the way you want to. Yeah.
Yeah. I get you. It's just, I don't know, it's like being a child, you have so much freedom. You have people to rely on, you know? And, like, I feel like the older you grow up, you start to realize maybe there was a group of people that you thought you could rely on. And then as you're growing older, you grow apart and you're feeling like, okay, well, maybe not
That's
anymore.
life. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can't be crying about that, though.
It is.
That is life. Like,
people come in and out of your life, right?
Yeah, and some people are not supposed to be in those chapters of your life. They could come back. It's happened to me. They could just come back into your lives somehow, but it's not. I don't think everything. Like, I think everything happens for a reason. So there's got to be a reason why the people that you have in your surroundings that you have at the moment in time, what are they to you? Like, what are they trying to tell you? So
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know why we ended it like that.
So wait.
So you think that it is scary? What scares you though about?
It's almost like you have to let go. As much as we say you have to hold on to like your inner child, it's almost like, but your physical form has to let go. Like, you have to be able to move past a lot of things. You have to have a thicker skin than you did when you were a child. You have to be able to face a lot more shit as an adult.
So that's adult
than you would have. Yeah, than you
Right.
would have to as a child. You have to be able to be a lot more independent and know that even though you have got people, like, you know, that have your back and that will be there for you, you have to be there for you first.
See, it's a bad thing looking at it like it's something like there, if you get what I mean. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Not really.
Okay, so why say yeah?
I thought I did, but then I was like, that doesn't really make sense.
You didn't bloody pay attention.
I did. Well, it's just... Yeah.
Well, when I meant like this, I meant... Okay, let's start from here, okay? It's a bad way to look at it, I think. That you feel like you have to let go of your inner child. Because the way I look at it is, in order for you to enjoy life, whilst being an adult, you need to hold on, not hold on tightly, but at least let him in every now and then. Like, does that make sense? I'm making him
Yeah.
sound like he's a fucking cage prisoner or something, but no, you get what I mean.
It's not really like the inner child. Like, obviously, I'm always going to be childish regardless of my
Right.
age. I could be a grandma and still be the most childish person in the room. But I'm talking about, like, just, I don't know, growing up, it's like you also have a lot more expectations, you know?
But
And it comes with age. Like, when you were younger, you would not be expected to do half the things that you're doing now as an adult.
okay, go on.
And when you see it in, like, retrospective, it is kind of like, oh, okay, well, things do change as you grow older, and that's just, change is inevitable as well. Like, that's, change is the one constant. Like,
That's just
all the
life.
time
That's
and
just
every
how
time.
life is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just got to keep moving. And going back to what you were saying, I was gonna say, like, I think it's nice that your inner child can be there every now and then, but it gets to a point where you have to kind of slap him a bit and be like, look, you've been in control for this long. It's time for me to grow up, and it's literally like Toy Story where Andy just puts his toys away.
Oh my god, that's such a good, like, analogy.
Maybe that's why the Pixar
Comparison.
are good, The Pixar are good like that.
But I guess you don't have to completely let go.
You don't have to completely let go.
Yeah.
You just allow the inner child to come back every now and then. That's what I've been doing. That's why I feel a lot younger. Because I've been doing things that I actually enjoy, and it does take a lot of time and a lot of effort, but it's so worth it.
It's been said, like, if you go and revisit something that you enjoyed in your childhood, like, you might discover a passion from it. Because if you liked it that much when you were younger, and then all of a sudden, like, you've lost that, or, like, you've not been able to explore that, try and go back and explore it, because you might find that that's something that is very useful for you, for your mental health, for, like, whatever it is, it will be a positive effect.
If it works, it works. Why not?
Yeah.
It's always nice to get a little helping hand in it.
Definitely. What would you say 24 has taught you the most? So obviously you're 25 now, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
He's now 25. So what
25.
did last year teach you the most?
Last year? I think I've had one of those floater years last year where I really thought that things were going to happen for me, but... No, actually, no. Let me say this. Last year taught me patience. It's so important. Because you expect yourself to do something and then reap the rewards straight away, but that's not how it works. That's not how you plant trees and you water it. You make sure the soil's all right and keep watering it day and night. Well, not day and night, but the sun sorts that out. I should get out of this topic because I don't know much about that stuff anyway.
Okay. But I get what you mean. Like, having a solid foundation to be able to build off of.
Yeah, that's it. So.
And also, like, you need nurture to be able to do anything. Like, even with an idea, you need to, like, think it through, plan it out, and then, like, with things where it's a process, you must be able to say that you explored the process.
But it's easier said than done. Last year was a struggle. I'll tell you now, because a lot of people tested my patience, and I needed that though. But at the time, it wasn't fun. Like, it was very hard to get out of the mindset of hurry up.
Yeah.
Kind of snap out. Slow down. Look around a bit.
Yeah.
And that's something that I need to. It was a good question because I didn't really think about it until now. So yeah, I forget to hold on to that sometimes, which is interesting.
Yeah, to be able to, like, step back and, like, see it, like, in retrospect as a whole thing.
Because when you're so close to it, you can't really see anything else.
You're very invested in who you are, what you're doing, like, So yeah, sometimes it's very nice to... And that's why I like the moments, like, going back to when we spoke about, like, having the moments where you just feel so grateful, where you just feel so loved. And it just hits you, like, really quickly.
It's a different feeling. It's a great feeling. And it's not harming anyone. Because I had this really difficult thing I was trying to, like, figure out in my head, right?
Yeah.
You tell me this. Do you know if you did something good for someone, is that selfish because you did it to feel good about yourself?
I would say
That makes sense.
it does make sense. I would say it depends on the intentions you did that for. Like if you did it for the person, then it's not selfish. But if you did it for the person knowing that it would make you feel a certain type of way, even that's like
But that's still good.
that's still good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what, like, the whole time I was like, yeah, that is still good though, because I'm still doing a good thing for the person. It's like good does the good, and it kind of jumps.
Yeah, like you feel good from making other people feel good.
Right.
And that is, it's a good thing. It's something that should be celebrated, I feel. Like it shouldn't be demeaned.
Mm.
Or you shouldn't be like branded selfish for it.
Right.
Because if you think about it, human beings are selfish beings,
Mm-hmm.
like as a whole. So the fact that we're trying to be selfish in a good way that brings positivity to the world, that's even better.
True.
Because you could be selfish for bad things, like all the time. People can be selfish for money, people can be greedy, people can be, you know.
Yeah.
That's not to say like don't strive for money, but just don't do it in with techniques that hurt other people or hurt yourself even.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then it's a good thing. Well, anyways, yeah, it took me a long time to figure it out because I was in the trap of that is a bad thing.
But then what's the harm of that
But
being...
I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it. I just kept going in that circle. But you're right. What, like, I'm doing something that's good for someone. I guess it gets techie when you start doing stupid things like, you would never catch me doing those videos where they're feeding the homeless and stuff like that. I don't know if I feel a certain way about it. Do you know when they're like, oh, old man, come on the street, come with me. I'll give you, like, here's all the money. Go do this. I won't record it.
I was gonna
I
say,
would
you
just,
mean you wouldn't record it
I
if
would
you
just
wanted to do
do
it, you
it.
just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in a sense it's, if someone's recording it and putting it out to show the world that this is something you can do, and that's their intention, and
That's
they
the
make it
intention.
very
That's the word.
evident. Yeah,
Yeah.
if they make it very evident that I'm only putting this out to show people you can do this.
Mhm.
If you're capable of doing this, please go ahead and help someone. But if they're putting it out with the intention of, oh, look how I come across.
Yeah.
Like, look at what I did. Can you do this? Like, you know, because a lot of people can be very cocky online as well. And so you need to make sure, well, not really make sure because there's no way of doing that, but if you're seeing people do that, their intention should be clear. And
Yeah.
if it's not clear, chances are they didn't have a clear intention, or they did, but it's not a positive one.
Again, then, even if you don't catch that in time and it happens, it just happened, isn't it? A little blimp in your timeline of life.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you said, if you want to do something, go ahead and do it. I feel like it doesn't need to be announced.
Yeah, just go. Because if you say it and then you bottle it, you feel a certain way about it. When I mean bottle it, I mean like just don't go through with it.
100%, I agree. It's like, it's almost like when things are to come, you want them to just come. You don't want to let everybody know, you know? And then when they do come and, like, say, for example, you find out you get the job. That's when you're like, it's certain. Now I can tell whoever I want to tell.
Right.
But if you're in between, like, I'm about to get the job, I could be getting the job, I don't know, kind of thing, then it's not worth, like, getting everybody's expectations high as well as your own to then for it not to go through.
You sound like you're speaking from experience when you say that.
I may be, I may not be.
Oh, 100%. None of your business.
No, it's more like I'm learning to, as like being an oversharer, and I think I've said this before, like I'm learning to hold back a bit more, you know?
Yeah.
To keep things to myself like a little bit longer. It makes it more precious, I feel, for me.
Right.
To be able to say like, only I know about this one thing, or only me and mum know about this one thing. Only the people I live with know about this one thing, right?
Yeah.
And then when it becomes a big thing, that's when I'm like, all right, now I'm ready to tell whoever and everyone and whatever, you know? Because it feels more special to me that way.
Well, it should. That's how it should be. But yeah.
Yeah. It's also like setting myself up to avoid disappointment, which I love.
Yeah, I don't know about trying to avoid disappointment because, again, it's the way you look at it, innit? Like, I don't look at it like that. I look at it as, if you keep believing that bad things are going to happen to you, chances are bad things are going to start happening to you.
Yeah.
But in saying that, you can do the opposite, and that's thinking good things. Good things are going to come my way. Good things are going to come my way.
Yeah.
What mistake lesson will you never forget?
Thinking that everything will come instantly. Like, having the mindset that, like, oh, it'll be fine, like, it'll be easy. Thinking that life would always be easy. Because if you think about it, through childhood, all the way through, for me, like, childhood to uni, everything was smooth sailing. Everything was very easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, well, not everything, but, like, it was obviously a process, but for me, it came naturally. I never had to strive as hard as I thought I did.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I look back, I did work very hard, but I just didn't see it as hard work. I thought, like, no, this is something I have to be doing, so I'm doing it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
You'd always be doing your homework. You didn't go. You said you didn't have detention, did you?
Parties. Detention. Yeah, I never had detention.
And you didn't go to the parties.
I didn't go to only NTS parties.
I just thought you were a loner, to be
That's
honest.
about
Like,
it.
what a weird child. Let's be on our
No.
own.
I guess that was also my surroundings, though, as well, because all my friends were the same. Like, go school, we'll meet at school, we'll be, like, you know, whatever. And then, yeah, do everything we need to do in school. Break time, lunchtime, meet, talk, gossip, whatever. And then home, straight home. School, home, school, home, school, home. That was basically what we did. And then weekends, it was literally get your homework done, meet again next week. And then after school is when we actually started meeting up, because we all went to different colleges.
Wow.
And then after college, same thing. Now it's after uni.
See, that's mad to me, because it was so fluid for me in terms of, like, my friendships and... Oh, that sounds wrong. I say it like that. Fluid. But I guess I couldn't... never mind. Anyways, I was saying, like, all my friends over the years, they've come in and they've gone. It's kind of like a straight line. And this whole time, people who have stayed, and people who have gone just drifted off.
Okay.
And that's okay. You know, not a lot of people... not everyone can be in your life.
Yeah.
You got to think of it that way.
Do you ever feel like you miss certain people? Like, say someone, like, from primary or secondary, like, they were in your life and then you're both living your own life now. Do you ever feel like you want to reach out to reconnect?
I don't... Well, the people who I reach out to are the people I want to reach out to. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So I will reach out if I wanted to.
Which also means you're open to people reaching out to you.
Yeah, 100%. But I feel like, I don't know why, I've maybe come across as someone who people can't talk to. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why.
I know what you mean. You seem too bougie sometimes.
I don't think it's that. 100%.
I feel like to other people, you seem very, like...
What?
Like, very... Not high-end, but, like, very...
Materialistic.
Not materialistic.
Well, that's
either.
what it is, though.
No, like... You like what you like, and you don't like what you don't like. You're straightforward.
Right.
And you say it how it is.
Maybe they're afraid
of that. And sometimes people can't take that.
I come across like that. I understand that.
Yeah.
See, I didn't look at it like that for a long time, actually, until just now.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But, like, that's how you come across when you're very comfortable, because you're always very comfortable in a room full of strangers and
Yeah,
full of people.
I like
and you're very easygoing. And if someone, like, said something and you had an opinion on it and you felt like you wanted to share it and you felt comfortable enough to, you would. And sometimes people would be like, oh, I wouldn't share what I feel about that, you know? They'd think about it with themselves as well, because some people love that. When you jump into a conversation that like multiple people are having and you're there and everybody knows you and you say your opinion, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
Some people can't take that.
But the reason why I love doing that is because I'm just interested in it. You don't have to listen. Like, I've just asked that guy, I've asked that person, you know? And I'm like, I want to know the next part of whatever he was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get that.
That's what I'm like. That's where my head goes. Something interesting comes up. Oh, you know what? Let me go that way.
That's cool. You're like, oh, I'm intrigued. I want to know more.
Yeah, but it's so weird. I've done that most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I've avoided a lot of things.
What do you mean you've avoided a lot?
Like fights. Like I've
Oh.
never been to any of the fights. Do you know when you're at the club and your boys get into a bit of a kerfuffle? And then like every time I'd go to a bar, I'd go piss, I'd come back and everyone's like everywhere. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, yo, we're going now. What? I just went for a piss, man. What the hell? Or went for a drink. I literally just went to go get a drink. Huh?
And then all your mates are in a kerfuffle?
Yeah, in a kerfuffle.
Not even a scuffle, a kerfuffle.
That's the title. When your boys get into a kerfuffle.
Oh, no.
Isn't that what it's called?
Kerfuffle?
No, kerfuffle.
You said kerfuffle the first time, and I've
Kerfuffle.
never heard of that in my entire life.
Hold on. Let me legitify this.
Legitify. Okay, I've never heard that one either.
Okay. I'm sure of it. Kerfuffle. Yeah. A common. Yeah.
A kerfuffle. I've never.
I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid.
It's the way you said it though. That's what I was like. I thought you were saying scuffle, but like.
No.
What lesson will you never forget?
Okay, the lesson I'd never forget is, well, like we just said, 24, definitely patience. Nothing comes straight away, so you've got to take time, and within those like the patience that you have, what I've done now is put like calming blocks in a weird way. Like if I get too hot or in terms of how I think and how I feel, it gets too much sometimes, which has been happening not a lot, but you know, when it comes, it comes.
Yeah.
In a rush. I tend to just walk away from whatever it is that whatever that is. I just go to the toilet real quick. Go to the toilet, deal with it in the toilet, and then sort it out. Sort myself out anyway.
Yeah.
And then go back to how it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I see that.
It's got to be done. And I feel a bit, when I said it, I feel a bit like, oh, maybe I shouldn't share it. Well, maybe I should. Because there's a lot of people I'm sure feels like that.
Yeah, I mean, I know for a fact when I feel a type of way, like when I feel like I could respond in multiple ways, I try and go with the best way possible. Like, that if someone says something and it's quite controversial towards me, right, or something I feel a strong way about, it could go one of two ways. It could either go me going off about it, or it could be me trying to understand and being like, okay, I want to put this point of view in, like, in a very calm method. Because sometimes I don't, like, it just, if it affects me a lot, I won't think about it and I'll just go off. But then if I stop myself from going off, like, just before I speak, and I'm like, okay, remember who you're talking to. Remember, this isn't bigger than whatever's going on, right? It's fine. You're just blowing it out of proportion.
Thinking about it logistic? What's it called?
Legitimately? Wait, what? Logistically?
No, that's the wrong word now. Oh, no.
Logically.
Yeah, logically. Logically. That's what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah, like, just because there's a lot of times where I've really thought about it and I was like, is it worth having this argument right now? Or is it worth just having a peaceful drive, like letting go of things, basically. Choosing your battles to fight. It's been a lesson I've learned over the last few years.
I'll say, you know, I kind of told you. You gotta choose your battles.
Yeah. And I've never regretted when I've not gone for it. But if it's come up again, that's when I'll be like, okay, well, I've held back once. I've held back twice. Now I'm gonna say something. You know?
Yeah.
If I've tried politely and I've tried to talk about it and it's still coming up, that's when it becomes an issue. But if it's only one time, why would I just, like, you know, go off? I don't like blindsiding people. That's, like, the worst thing you can do. But I'm not gonna lie, I've done it before, because sometimes when I get really overwhelmed, like, that's almost all I can see. Like, you see when I get really emotional, because I'm a very emotional person, it's like, in that moment, if I feel like I need to cry, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, regardless of the why. That's for me to know, which is why I'm glad you did tell me to write things down, because it does help. But yeah.
Well, thank you for listening to me. First time in your bloody life.
One of the first times.
One of the first time.
See, I do listen. Just forget sometimes.
We all forget sometimes.
It's true. If you could use 3 words to describe yourself, what words would you use?
3 words.
Mm-hmm.
Colourful. Interesting.
Okay.
Kind.
Colourful, interesting, and kind.
Yeah.
3 words to describe myself that I'd use. Okay.
Yeah.
Approachable, loving, and patient.
Patient? I don't think
Yeah.
so. I don't know. I don't think you're patient. I think you sometimes you think you're patient, but I think you kind of take the piss and you don't realize it
I can be very, very patient.
with the wrong things.
No, with the right things.
I don't know. Give me an example.
I can be very patient with people.
With people.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
understand that. Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, I agree with you on that part.
There you go then.
You can be patient with people.
Yeah.
I was thinking of patience in terms of getting things done on time.
Oh
Sometimes-
no, I'm a huge procrastinator.
Sometimes it feels like you take the piss. That's what I was thinking. But no, I agree. You are patient in terms of people.
With people, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely better than. Well, I was not going to say me. I was going to say someone else, but. So.
Why would you bring someone else into
I know.
this?
That's why I stopped.
Yeah. What does equity mean?
Equity. I've heard it of it, but I can't remember exactly what it's about. I think it is more to do with having more. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna try.
It just popped into my head, and I was just wondering. That's why I asked.
Equity. Being fair and impartial.
It's a good word. Question of the day.
Questione of the day. What would it mean to go in peace?
I feel like the guarantee that everybody's going to be okay. Like, for me to go in peace is to die, right? That's how I perceived it. Okay. And for me to die, personally, to be in peace, it'd be the fact, like, actually knowing that everybody's going to be okay.
Right.
Yeah. Although, yeah, everyone has to grieve in their own ways and everything. Everyone's going to be okay at the end of it, you know? I don't want it to be like a knock-on effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. Like, it would... I think that is one of the only ways you can go in peace. Knowing that your family are going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
100%.
For me... I narrow it down to places or people to go in peace. Going in peace and making sure that I left things the right way.
Yeah.
Even though, like, it takes years and years, right? You have arguments and stuff. You can go back to it if you really want to. And sometimes it's probably the best thing you could do.
100%. I feel like it's best to let go of grudges as fast as you can. And, like, to let go of things that are hurting yourself.
Yeah, because that's all you're doing, hurting yourself, and you're holding on to something. Do you think that other person is holding on to it? It's not fucking...
And even if they are, that's for them to deal with.
Yeah.
You know? Like, if someone's being... And I'm going to say this, I actually dislike petty people. Okay? Because hate is a very strong word. It's very hard for me to hate someone. But, yeah, I hate pettiness as a whole.
Yeah.
And so when people are being petty, I'm kind of always the person to try and step back and show them like a view of like what's going on, like, you know, not to say I've not been petty in the past, but every time I have like even thought about doing something that seems petty, I'd catch myself and be like, ew, nah, this isn't for me. I hate when other people do it. Why would I be doing it?
Okay.
And I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that.
So I'll tell you a line, because there was one time we had a recording. It was gone now. Upsetting time. We were in the old house when I was very young. I must have done something to you. We were young.
Yeah, but that
You
wasn't,
turn
that
around.
wasn't pettiness.
Hold on. You
I
didn't
was
turn
4!
around. You didn't turn around. I went, Himele, I want to tell you something important. Do you know you? And then she whips out a hanger or whips it around my head. What? Shit.
That was revenge, okay? He hurt my feelings.
That was so funny though. I wish we had that recording.
I wish we did too.
So funny.
Yeah, no, you hurt my feelings. You deserve that.
Peak.
Anyways, petty people.
Petty people and hashtag slash Q&A. Question of the day.
Yeah. Moral of the story, don't be petty, guys. Think about the results of what you're actually doing. You know? Like, there's a lot of people that will be like, oh, well, they didn't respond to me for a day, so now I'm not going to respond to them for a week. Like, what's that going to do? All that's going to do is weaken your communication. You know?
Very true.
You could just tell them, hey, yo, that wasn't cool. I was waiting on your response. And they'd be like, maybe they don't even know until you tell them.
I agree.
Yeah.
But you've said it well.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys.
Wait, you didn't answer it.
Did I not?
Or maybe you did. But you didn't answer it in full.
What did I say?
You said people and places. But you explained the people part. Like, you obviously want to make sure you're good with everyone. No grudges.
Yeah, and then places would be just leaving the place how I left it. Or hopefully better. Left it.
How you found it, you mean?
Yeah, left it how I found it, or maybe left it in a better condition.
Mm-hmm.
Or did something, at least one thing that
made an impact. Yeah. Or had an impact, made a difference.
Yeah, kind of like an imprint of me.
Hey.
I was here once.
He existed.
Existed once.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like everybody's like, the fact that everyone exists is enough. But a lot of people don't think that's enough. Yeah.
And on that note, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe and share.
Share it. If you like it.
If you like it. And we shall see you next week.
Adios.
Bye.
Oh, we'll have a guest.